Hi everyone, my name is Michelle McMullen, and for my final research project, I have chosen to study the prevalence of masculine and feminine traits in the television show Scandal. The title of my paper is Monkey See, Monkey Do, an evaluation of gender portrayal in Scandal. Women are highly underrepresented in leadership positions, accounting for a mere 5% of company chief executive officers in the Standard & Poor's 500 index. There exists the need for gender equality among leadership positions, and policies ensuring these initiatives are supported is crucial. Mass media plays a major role in the depiction of women. Affirmative action plans and societal change must take place in order to lessen the gender gap. Previous research on women's representation in leadership roles has indicated a gender gap between males and females. Despite the vast gain in representation of women in leadership roles over the past few decades, men are still more highly represented in leadership than women. Davies et al. Began their study with this quote by Marshall McLuhan: "Any expensive ad is as carefully built on the tested foundations of public stereotypes or set of established attitudes as any skyscraper is built on bedrock." Growing up, women's role in mass media played largely to the stereotypical ideas of the domestic wife and working father. Reinforcement of stereotypes results in the perpetuation of stereotypical mindsets. It's cyclical and problematic when you're making an effort to address necessary societal change. The idea of the glass ceiling implies that there is an invisible roof through which women cannot break through to advance in leadership roles. Eagly and Carly reimagined the glass ceiling as a leadership labyrinth, referring to the unsanctioned barriers preventing women from securing top leadership roles. This path to power being littered with impediments has been coined by Davies et al., who characterize the idea of an obstacle course through which women must navigate tediously to obtain leadership positions. Hoyt and Simon suggest that women are more inspired by female, as opposed to male, career role models, as they demonstrate that women are capable of overcoming gender barriers to achieve success. If success appears to be attainable, superior others have positive effects on individuals. That brings us to my research question. Are the three female leads in Scandal more likely to exhibit traditional female traits at the beginning of the series and more masculine traits as they climb toward the glass ceiling of success at the end of the series? A quantitative content analysis was employed in an effort to explore the media content and address the research question. Quantitative content analysis aims to distill the many words presented in media or text into meaningful categories. Applying coding procedures to a large amount of content allowed for smaller categories to be developed. Descriptive statistics will be used to tell my story of the quantitative data. 6 episodes in total were observed of the television show Scandal, the first 3 and the last 3 of the series, in order to measure the evolution of masculine and feminine traits of 3 female leading characters throughout the series. I had initially hoped to cover the entire series, but quickly realized this was not realistic given our time frame. Codic content analysis was used to guide the observation and to increase the reliability of results. The small sample size may impact reliability, and a suggested future area of study will be a full codic content analysis of the entire series. A total number of 965 traits were observed. Of the total number, 52% were masculine and 48% feminine. Masculine traits were exhibited more often during the last 3 episodes of the series, 74% of the time, than the first 3 at 26%. Feminine traits were exhibited with greater prevalence at the beginning of the series, 67%, versus the end of the series at 33%. In concurrence with literature, men are shown to be in many of the most powerful positions in the television show, especially in the first season. This includes the president, the attorney general, and the leader of the covert government agency B613. The prevalence of male power is in line with the American University of Women's 2016 report that men are still more highly represented in leadership than women. Female leads exhibit more feminine characteristics in Season 1, Episodes 1 to 3. The observed female characters exhibited significantly greater feminine traits in the first 3 episodes, 67%, than the last 3 when they only expressed 33%. The main character, Olivia Pope, began as the all-American problem solver and fixer, wearing her white hat and making an effort to right the wrongs done to her clients. Quinn Perkins, an unsuspecting recruit of Olivia's firm, OPA, Olivia Pope and Associates, begins as a naive but brilliant team member who idolizes Olivia. Mellie Grant is introduced as the wife of the current President of the United States, Fitzgerald Grant. Compassionate, gullible, and sensitive to the needs of others were the characteristics most often represented by the female leads in the first 3 episodes of the series. Concern for others appeared to be a major reason for Olivia's professional quest to help her clients. Characters are shown as sympathetic and caring, taking a special interest in one another and in their clients, precipitating their sensitivity to the needs of others. Olivia, Quinn, and Mellie appeared to be easily persuaded by their clients, particularly those of the male gender. They are quick to conclude guilt or innocence, relying upon gut feelings and their emotions. Consistent with the findings of Elmy Roach and Cyr and Canadian broadcast media, Season 1 often portrays women as the victim as opposed to being portrayed positively or in a leadership or expert position. Female leads exhibit more masculine characteristics in Season 7, Episodes 17 to 19. As an avid viewer of the series, I can say without a doubt that the series gradually shifted from the main characters appearing to do well for humanity to justifying their immoral behavior through a utilitarian lens. As the series progressed, darker, intense, and morally challenging episodes became the norm. Female leads showed a greater prevalence of masculine characteristics toward the end of the series. Aggression, willing to take a stand, and willing to take risks became the most prevalent traits of the last 3 episodes. Olivia has taken and lost reign of B613, as well as the position of the President's Chief of Staff. Mellie has become the President of the United States, and Quinn has emerged as the new operator of Olivia Pope and Associates. Davis et al. Likens the impediments that litter the path to power to that of navigating an obstacle course. Perhaps the adoption of these traits is a result of the successful navigation of this course. Social cognitive theory could provide reasoning for the women's adoption of masculine traits on their climb toward higher leadership positions. Given the prevalence in males of power positions in the beginning and throughout the series, social cognitive theory would suggest that these women have adapted their behavior following the observation of the existing powerful male characters in an effort to mimic these behaviors and become powerful in their own right. Symbolic interactionism can aid in explaining the professional growth of the female leads throughout the series, as the exposure to other women in powerful positions created a new meaning of power for the female leads. This is consistent with Hoyt and Simon, who suggested that women are more inspired by female role models as they demonstrate that women are capable of overcoming the gender gap to achieve success. The meaning of the female glass ceiling is diluted by exposure to successful females. Although women in leadership have made great strides, there still exists a need for more women in leadership positions. The television show Scandal documents the professional progression of multiple female characters. Of the 3 characters analyzed, it is observable that women are more likely to show feminine characteristics at the beginning of the show and more likely to show masculine characteristics as they achieve more powerful leadership positions toward the end. Symbolic interactionism and social cognitive theory can be used to explain the progression of power throughout the series. The need for gender equality is necessary as we move into a world desiring, and rightfully so, equal representation. Affirmative action plans and societal change will aid in this venture. This research also indicates that exposure of women in leadership positions can further their aspirations. Future research could examine a greater portion or all of the episodes of the series in order to determine a more inclusive gender trait analysis.